Well, hello and good afternoon. What a couple of weeks this has been. Nothing for me from ages, and then all of a sudden I'm back with a vengeance. So welcome to Stitches and Jacks. Oh, my mouth has gone all like cotton wool now. I am currently in the process of organising, sorting and planning my craft and my stash. One of my passions, and I am a maker of, what do I like to make? I like to knit, I like to crochet, I like to sew, I like to quilt. And one of my passions is blankets, and I do like blankets. So shall we talk blankets? Yes, let's see how I can try and divide this up. I believe that blanket in progress is not a whip. It ebbs and flows with season, with your feeling. Yes, and I have made many blankets over the years, and to me it is a gift that has so much thought and so much love in it. All my grandchildren have blankets. My eldest daughter has a blanket. I'm sure you have heard, everybody's heard of Attic 24, and it was the ripple blanket. She had that. I've also made her a corner to corner crochet blanket, and my youngest daughter, she got my first ever crochet blanket for a birthday, and it's still in use today. And they have been made with Stylecraft yarn. Stylecraft is great for crocheting. I've just been able to throw it in the wash and not have to worry about it. And 2022, I made a huge blanket, the Attic 24. I think it might have been the cupcake blanket for my stepdad, and it is still on his chair today. I've recently brought it home, washed it, and we've put it back on his chair, and it was a humongous and it was all the colours. He was very heavily into mystical fiction, like The Hobbit, all that kind of thing. So I tried to pick colours that he would like, and it took me forever to make it. I think I started in beginning of March, and I knew I had to have it finished for November so that I could just do the border in December, which I did, and it was his pride and joy. Anybody that came to the house, he showed them his blanket, and my eldest daughter crocheted him a dragon, which is with him now. I'll start with an old blanket. I'm just going to show you some simple ones, or what I class as simple, some favourites, and then progress to something that kind of scared the life out of me. I think this was the very first blanket that I made for when I was going to become a grandma for Alfie, and it was to go in his Moses basket. And again, I think this is a C. James Brett blanket. It's dead easy. You can just knit it. I think it's like 200 grams, and then you've got like a 2x2 rib, stretchy rib. And I'm proud to say, stays here. All my grandchildren have been under this blanket, and that is so nice that we have this kind of family heirloom. So it's, and it's, if you can see, it stood like the test of time. Then our Fred come along, and he was the really woolly baby. So I decided, in my ignorance, I knitted him a blanket. This is with Sirdar crofter, and again, this is a stocking stitch blanket with a garter rib. So yeah, you can tell this has been washed and washed, and he has used this, and it is huge, absolutely huge. And this is currently in Ruben's cot when he goes to sleep on a Thursday. So he has that. So he's got an inherited blanket. I've used it for Benjamin, Ruben, Yes, and Bonnie might get it, but if Reuben's holding on to it, then she won't get it. Then my daughter and I, we never knew Advents existed. So I think in 2020, we were like, oh my word, we've been missing out. What we've been doing. I think that's when I'd started 2019, 2020 to watch podcasts. So we decided we would do an Advent swap and we would use Stylecraft yarn. And I saw the Helen Stewart pattern and I was like, oh, I don't need to buy that. I know what to do. Yeah, I should have bought it, but I executed it, I think, quite well, she says. So as I say, this was Stylecraft, and I think, I'm not sure if they were 10 grams or 20 grams, so I just used as much as I could in the blanket. And then I just had some cream, or I went and bought some cream, a Stylecraft. And then what I do, and this, I find this really funny because I'm a quilter, I always try and use as much of my fabric in my quilt. So a lot of my quilts will have like the offcuts on the binding. So I kind of did a magic knot ball, which I think is really cute. Yeah. So again, and this sits on my chair in the office, in my office, and this can be brought through when we go for a walk. You know, go for a walk down to the pond with the little ones, and also a in the snug, the boys in the summer. Yeah, they'll just get all the blankets out. Don't ask me why, but they do. They well, yeah, because it's hot, they'll strip down and then they'll just have a blanket on top of them. Why wouldn't they put the clothes on? I don't know. And then onto crochet. I made this last year, and this is, I just used this quilt, this crochet block. I think it's called Sunburst, and this is for Bonnie's little pram that she has. So she wraps her baby in it. So yeah, that's that. And then I used this. I went down to Modern Yarn in Formby, which isn't very far away from me, and she had this really beautiful, I think she made like a poncho, and I was like, oh my word, I really want it. But I hadn't got and I know it doesn't matter what colour blankets you have, but I wanted to make one for Bonnie. So I saw it, and I have made her a granny square blanket, and I've used 200 grams. So this is her blanket. What I do is I do a granny square, and then I think I do a few rows, maybe 4 rows, 5 rows, and then I start turning it each way to try and keep it straight. What to do. You can see that where I've just turned it and gone backwards. Which I had this on Thursday, and it's still fine, but I'm just wondering, just want an excuse to go to the shop. Next time I go, I could pick a couple more balls up and I could make this. The largest granny square blanket I've ever made is for Alfred, and I'd made a ripple blanket for Alfie when he was about 3.5, and he wanted it from his head to his feet, and he still uses it to this day, but it's more a lap blanket, and it's all the colours. I'm saying to him, what would you like, lovey? And he's like, oh, I want all the Marvel colours. So it's all like red and blue and yellow and black and green. Don't know if there's anything else in there, but I was, yeah, pretty pleased with it. And I wasn't following a pattern. I just sort of made it up myself, and then I had a load of stuff left over. And I thought, what do I do? So I just made Fred a granny square blanket. So it's the same, obviously same yarn, same colours, but slightly different, so they can tell. And Fred, it's still on Fred's bed, and Fred uses it as well. Well, Fred uses his blanket, which is really lovely. And what else have I got? Oh, I think, yeah, a crochet blanket is an ideal gift for a baby. So I've just found this upstairs, and this is one of my favourites. Is a corner to corner blanket, and especially if you use variegated yarn, it just does the work for you. And I made one the end of 2022. I think I had 300 grams or 250 grams left. Made exactly the same one for my daughter-in-law's sister for the baby. Yeah, I think this is about 300 grams. And what I normally do, if I'm making a corner to corner blanket, I weigh my yarn, I'll divide it in half, and then I'll crochet to that point, and then I'll just pull that row back so they know that I've definitely got some more crochet. Some more, I've got enough yarn left. So I need to give this back because I made this for Toby last year and it's been left upstairs. Just bear with me. I rearranged my blankets. This is a blanket that kind of happened by accident. It's called the bunny blanket. All my grandchildren have their own individual name. Benjamin is like my little bunny. And I'd had these cakes in these colours. And my daughter took me to somewhere in Blackpool. It wasn't a branded name that I recognised. I decided that he wanted a blanket. I wanted to make him a blanket. I've made one for him, 2 or 3 for his house, which he's got. I wanted one to keep his, that he use his. Green is his favourite colour. And it's a rectangular granny square. And I just used as much as I could of what I had. So I think I had, if I remember rightly, three 200s. So you just start off. I think again, you can just please yourself what you do. And then to try and use every single bit up, I quite like single crochet, US double crochet. That took a while. It was a labour of love, but I do think it gives the blanket another edge. So that's that one. And he does love that blanket. Year, Ollie and Bella and I think Ali from Little Drops of Wonderful were hosting this blanket along, and I was like, oh my word, I need to like join in. Yeah, just cast on another blanket, just hook on another blanket. So this is the 6-day kid blanket, and this is used for Toby, and this is a Karen cake. And what I did is I pulled all the yarn out, and then just crocheted like in that particular colour. And I really love this blanket. I think this is really, really effective. I've seen it in lots of different colours. Yeah. And the good thing about blankets is, providing you use the same weight yarn, you can make it in any weight that you want, and it'll just come up at the size of that. Of that yarn. So if I did this is like I think it's the equivalent of an Aran. So if I did a DK, it would be smaller, or 4-ply would be smaller. Still, right, look with me. And then I think in 2020 it was lockdown, and yeah, I think people were doing all sorts of things, trying to try and keep the hands busy. Just trying to keep occupied, taking up some old crafts that they had learnt. I had a lot of Stylecraft like in my basket, and I thought, what do I do with it? And I thought, I'm going to make a granny stripe blanket because that's what I wanted, and this is what I've made. I will lay these on the floor, these ones, so you can get a good idea. So I did all my granny stripes. But I did try and do it in a rainbow order. And then I did to separate it, the single crochet, US double crochet, and then did my granny squares. and then it's got this glitter yarn. Again, I think this is James C. Brett as well, and just to use it up. I've been on a workshop and somebody gone downstairs. It was at Abercarn in Liverpool. I don't know if it's picking up the glitter, so I just used that. So that took a fair amount of yarn as well. And this lays on Bonnie's travel cot upstairs. So she has this. Yeah, she sleeps really well because I think it's quite a weighty blanket as well. So I've got various corner to corner blankets in the house. My daughter's got one. Also, I've made the star blanket, the ripple blanket. I made one for Toby, I made one for Ruben when he was born, I made one for Bonnie, I made one for my friend Lindsay. And they're so effective. I made one, yeah, they make an ideal gift that it's just simple, and depending on your colour placement, it will be totally different, you know, however many you make. Right, I'm just whittering away. Is that going? Yes, it is. I was telling you all about my blanket and it hasn't recorded at all, so I'm just going to start again and then I'll have to do some chopping. So my next blanket, which I think 2021, I think, is a Battenburg Blanket, and it's by Cherry Heart. I think she's an amazing designer, and this is I think she might have used 4-ply in that. I've used double knitting and I used Stylecraft, and it was to use up what was in my Stylecraft box. And I also had some fluorescent Stylecraft, which wasn't my choice. I'd knitted a unicorn hat, mittens and glove, and what else? Oh, that's it. So there were fluorescent colours in there, but I've put them in, and yeah, it's like patchwork. It just goes. And this lives on my chair in the office, and this is one of the blankets that the boys go and pick, because this means that they can lay on the couch and they can both get on it. I've made it big enough to go on my daughter's bed. Like, she's got a king size bed upstairs, and it's from the bottom of the pillow to the end of the bed. And yeah, if I have grotty day or whatever, I'll be under it. So yeah, I've been under it these last couple of months. So I'll just give you a little view, and then I'll get it hung up properly so you can see it. It's beautiful. I should count it really, count how many stitches are in that. Undid the border, yep, on the border. Hey, that's the back, and that's the front. Yeah, I really love this blanket, really love it. So this is a good stash buster. It's a good scrap blanket. Again, you can use any yarn, as long as you use the same amount of yarn in your project. You can just keep adding to it. So yeah, I'd highly recommend having a go at that as well. And then the next blanket I wanted to share with you, and I am super proud of this, and I was in awe of myself when I completed it. It took me quite a while. It's Cherry Heart's Nature's Walk blanket, and I think it was released as a CAL, as a crochet along, in the autumn of 2019. And I'll be honest, I was so intimidated with how quickly people could crochet, and they would put it up, and I was like, oh my word, who do I think I am that I can do this? But I quickly got over that, and I thought, if people are quick and they can crochet, then good for them, good for them. I'm just going to go at my pace. And I completed it, and then I completely bottled out over the border, and I think it'd been finished, I don't know, 6 months, maybe a bit more. And then I was like, just need to do it. You just need to do it. And once I started, as long as you have got your setup round, your foundation round, and she just give you tips about fudging it and what you need to do. So if you've got like, I don't know, too many stitches or too least, you can increase or decrease. I was spot on. Oh. Sheer fluke, I think. But I followed the pattern, and I think I used a lot of stitch markers, and I timed what I was doing, and gave myself a certain amount of time to do it. And it sits on my chair on its own in pride of place. And yeah, it's made with Schjeeps Katona, and she also used Stylecraft Bellissima, and that's blanket is all like jewels and things, really, really pretty. It was so popular, like they sold out. I had no idea this kind of thing went on. So yeah, I'll give you a quick glimpse, and then there'll be a proper video. The colours are beautiful. Look at this. I can't believe, yeah, that I made this. Yeah, it's just beautiful, absolutely stunning. There's so many lovely techniques in here. Yeah, that makes me really smile, this one, the sunshine, the ray of sunshine. And this again is a really heavy blanket. And I think I would quite like to make another one, because a lot of people use this stash, so they were all kinds of colours, which were really great. And then some people just did a plain one. There was lots of whites and creams, and I was like, oh, they look so beautiful. I'd like to, yeah, have a crack at that. So maybe I think I just need to buy some yarn and just work on some blocks. But yeah, I'm not allowed yet. And I blocked all these as well individually. That was the first time that I had blocked squares. So yeah, I'm good. And I think that blanket, looking over there because I just put it on the couch, I think the dogs are playing with their football. Cherry Heart taught me to, not personally, I was reading the pattern, to use charts, but there's no chart for the border, I don't think, because obviously it depends how big your blanket's going to be, so that could be a bit more, I'm pretty sure that's the case. So yes, and that's really handy if you can start to read crochet charts, because it doesn't matter whatever, it's the same, yeah, it's the same symbol. It's the same symbol used for American and English. So you can just read it regardless of whatever crochet terms you follow. I learned English crochet, couldn't get my head around American crochet, and then when my crochet clicked, I was like, yeah, the American actually makes more sense because they're counting the turns of the hook. But yeah, that wouldn't faze me now. So my last blanket that I wanted to share with you is one that came out last year for the Coronation. So of course I had to do this. I knew nothing about it. My daughter phoned or texted me one morning to say, show me the picture. She goes, oh, are you doing this, Mum? I was like, no, I haven't seen this. And the lady informed me she was having the kit, so I just messaged her straight away. I said, may I have a kit? And if I can I have two, please? She said, of course. And this is the first time that I came aware of MadebyAnnita. And I learned so much doing this, and I'm super, super proud of it. And it was amazing Yeah, really beautiful design. And at first, when I first like saw it, I was like, oh, it's not red, white and blue, or there's no purple, like it's not a lot of purple in it. And then when she was going through the different elements of the blanket, it was to represent King Charles's life. She's spot on, absolutely spot on. So I'll show you this briefly. Oh. So you have in the middle, well, you had a choice as to how you wanted to personalise your blanket as well. So in the middle, I put the crown, the sceptre, and the orb. And I think this is made in, it's not Stylecraft, Hayfield bonus. And then this piece here, the waves, is to do with his time in the Navy. Yeah, really lovely. And then the green is for his conservation. I really enjoyed making that. There's lots of new stitches that I learnt. And then this bit here is the ermine on his coronation robe. And this bit here is the jewels like for in the crown. And this reminds me of, you know, Robin Hood, King John. That's what that reminds me of. And there was a new way to join, and I was a bit like, oh my word. There was a video that accompanied it as well, and I was like, oh my word, that's so cat-handed, I'm not going to do it. I sat at the table and I managed to do it, and it was no problem, so I was really pleased. And then this bit here, which is to do with the embroidery down his cloak, I was absolutely terrified to do. I had never worked anything like this. Again, it was so easy. Her videos are good. She's a very good teacher. She knows how to implement stuff. So yeah, and then on the corners you could put, I put the Tudor rose, my Tudor rose here. So I was really chuffed with that. I was really excited to have a go at that. What's on this corner? Oh, it was to represent the four corners of the United Kingdom. So this is 3-leaf clover for Ireland. The Tudor rose was for England. Let's have a look. And then on this corner, what's on this corner? Oh, this is my daffodil for Wales. Oh my word, I love it. Absolutely love it. And took this to Knitting in Public Day and put it on my chair. I had so many beautiful compliments. People were so lovely. And then this is Scotland. This is my thistle. I think my thistle's okay. My daughter laughs. Daughter-in-law laughs every time she sees it. The only thing I didn't like about the blanket, and that's because I'm a quilter, is the label. They put the label on the front, and I would have to put the label on the back. So we had and it was by Sirdar. So I put my label there, and I'm really happy with that. So that was a pleasure. That was a pleasure to do. And I don't think I finished on time because other things get on the way, get in the way. But it was ready and finished, and on my couch, ready for the coronation, and everybody's been very complimentary about it, which is lovely. And my eldest daughter, she made hers as well, and she is with Jeanette. They are the fastest crocheters I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, no, I was happy. I was happy. Challenge me. So bear with me. Now, I wanted to share blanket progress. I'm going to hold myself accountable. Not in the sense that I'm going to tell myself off or give myself a deadline. It's nothing like that. But I'd just like to have something that's up on my little corner of YouTube and that I can come back in a few months' time and have a look at where I am. And I believe that a blanket should have no pressure on it at all. I think it depends on your mood. So I bought, when I first learned to crochet, the Mystical Lanterns pattern by Jenny Crow. And I didn't believe the lady who taught me to crochet that I could do this. I thought, yeah, she doesn't know what I can do, but yes, she did. This is a very good beginner crochet pattern, and again, I've seen this in all shapes, all colours of like the rainbow, and yeah, it's beautiful. I think I started it in 2020, just the lanterns. That I was still at that stage where I couldn't read my crochet, so that made it more difficult. I didn't understand. It wasn't my ability, it was the fact I couldn't read my stitches. But I can read my stitches now, and I can look at, don't have to like look at the pattern. I chose a pack which was Stylecraft, is it Heather? Stylecraft Heather? I don't think I have a ball band. No, it's Stylecraft. I need to put it there. Whatever has the 25% wool down. So I picked it, I've worked on it sort of on and off. I think I picked it up the other year and I put 2 rows together, or I had to make a couple and then I could do that. And then last year I picked it up again in the summer. It's an ideal project to make it. You know, when you just need something small, you want something to do with your hands, but you don't want, like, you obviously don't want to work on a big blanket. And when we went away last September, I took it with me, and it's housed in one of my crates, which would have a Union Jack on my crate, wouldn't it? So that's all the lovely colours. So they're all the lovely colours that are there. I had 2 bags on the go, 2 plastic bags, excuse me for rustling. I have no idea why I don't have this in a project bag. And I've got a beautiful project bag to go with this. So when I was away in September, I think it was just something, it was, yeah, we just lost Bailey, so I just needed something to do. I didn't sew them together, I didn't sew the rows together, I didn't put them on a blanket. So I've currently got 4 rows, well, 2 rows to do. I've sewn 2 on in preparation for this podcast. I was hoping to have the other 2 on, but I thought, Karen, just yeah, talk about your blanket, sew this on. This takes me a long time. If anybody has got any suggestions as to, if you've made this, how to make it quicker, I don't know, yeah, just let me know. And also, I was looking at the size of the blanket. Has anybody washed their blanket and then hung it out? I'm taking it that it's going to stretch a fair bit. I don't know, would I put pegs on the end? I don't know. So so I'm thinking, I have given myself a goal for this. I'm thinking that I might knit that'd be good, wouldn't it? I might crochet one of these lanterns. Yeah, if I crochet one of these lanterns a day in March, then I'll have 31 lanterns and I'll be a couple shy of 3 rows. So that would be really good. I've got 8 on the blanket and 2 more to go on, so I'm up to row 10. So if I could do up to 13, then hopefully if I did the same in April, I still had that Momento, then I could get that done, so it'd be finished before the summer. But I think my first goal is to pull it back a bit, just do 1 a day, and it takes me about half an hour, so I don't know whether that's quick, slow, average, or what. But yeah, and I do try and sew all my ends in as I go, because I went to the wool shop where I purchased this, and some ladies had started making this. One of them pulled it out of the bag and she had all the ends to sew in. I was absolutely horrified. I mean, if she wants to sew me in, that's absolutely fine, but I was just like, oh my word, you've got to sew all those in. But I just love sewing ends in, and yeah. I don't mind. Well, yeah, I don't mind, but I was just a bit phased, but I was totally different then to how I am now. I don't think I'd be so phased now. So this is where I am with this. So I'm going to see if Mr. Jacks will come and do some modelling in a minute, or I'll lay on the floor. So this is the front of the blanket. So it should be double the width when I've finished. Oh my word, look at this. I don't know how you're supposed to do it quite random. I've tried to do it random, and I find that very hard because the kind of person I am. But yeah, seems to be a lot of the yellow, the daffodil, being used. It'd be interesting when I finished to weigh everything and see what's left. That will just go in my Stylecraft box. The Hayfield bonus for the Coronation blanket, I just put it all in a box and gave it to my daughter. So, would you like this, darling? And she was like, oh, yes, please, Mum. I said, right, it's fine, you have it. Just take it. Yeah, I prefer to work with Stylecraft. So, that's that. So, I'm very happy with how that is coming on. So, that's my one blanket. And it would be nice if I can... yeah, just do those 31. That'll be quite a lot, wouldn't it? Oh, right. And my second blanket that is on the go. And this is a total impulse. But I was trying to justify myself last year. The last couple of years, I've seen lots of blankets that look like quilts. You know, like stars and squares and all sorts, and triangles, half square triangles. Ooh. So again, using Stylecraft DK, and this is a free pattern on MadebyAnnita, and it's called the Momento blanket. And if you go on the Instagram feed and see them, it's really lovely. She made her pattern using her lovely bits out of 4-ply yarn, but I decided that I wanted a heavier blanket, so I've just used DK. And it will come up slightly different, slightly bigger, but that's fine. So was it June last year? June or July last year, we did. Jeanette from Crafty Creations and Alex from My Yarny Corner did a collaboration to raise some money for Ukraine. And I showed all my socks. We did it for to knit socks. Jeanette made the bags. I supplied the material. I supplied some of the yarn. Alex supplied some yarn, and she did all the dyeing, and Jeanette did all the bags. And it was a bit of it was a feat for her, but thankfully she able to. I think we raised about £300, so that was good. So I was like, right, how can I kind of tie that in? So I made this one, and there's a theme for every month. So this was the sunflower one, which I'm really happy with, really happy. So I've got 2 boxes of yarn. Some of it is what I have, and some of it I have purchased, but again, I'm quite happy because it'll just go into another blanket. So I was on a roll with that one. And then I did Christmas in July, and started a blanket, and then wanted to do my block. I was, what was it called, that blanket I was doing? It was the one that, is it mosaic crochet? Yeah, that wasn't for me. But I think the reason it wasn't for me is, one, because I didn't know what I was doing, and my tension was too loose. So that's on the back of my chair, and it's going to be frogged, and I'm fine with that. And the Stylecraft yarn will go in my box. But then, so Christmas in July, I thought, right, okay, what do I do? So this is the Christmas block for the wreath, the Christmas wreath. And yeah, I really puzzled over this, and then I put it away. You ever put something in the naughty corner? And then I got it out again. And if you're a quilter, sometimes you just have to turn the blocks. I think I was trying to look for a eucalyptus colour, which in Stylecraft I think is like Lincoln. That's what I think. So I've turned it around, look. Ah, look at that. Oh my word. I'll see if I can get the picture. Well, now that's not too bad, is it? This is my interpretation of this. Hey. Yep. So I love that. It still needs to have the border on and 1,000 ends sewn in, but sometimes you're just a bit cross with it. I thought I had 3. Oh yeah, it's right in front of me. So I started off doing the January. I always intended for this blanket to take me a year, because I don't just have to do the block, wouldn't I? So, it's part 12, sorry, part 12, and it's called Ice. So there we are, that's Ice. And I found this quite hard because colour placement, the blocks are, I've used cream for these, and to do the border I've used cream. And obviously cream's not ice. So I thought, right, go with it. So I've used for this block, I've used the white, then I've gone for silver, and then I have gone for this. I really love this, and this is waterfall, and I think, yeah, it was in the sunflower one. I've used it for, you know, the sky. Really like this colour. So would you like to see my snowflake? Ta-da! Oh my word, look at that. So that just needs the border as well. So yes, I'm really happy with that. And then I have everything, and it's all free, all free. You just have to read the pattern. I have a folder, and it was out sort of, I started this last year, 2023, so it was out in 2022 and started in February for Valentine's Day. Oh my word, isn't that lovely? I haven't had time to do this month, and I was starting to put some pressure on myself, and I was like, no, stop. Your word of the year is to nourish yourself. Nobody's going to be bothered if you haven't completed this. And when I'm filming now, it is Wednesday the 28th of, I was going to say November.
Once do you need a wee wee?
Oh my word, that's so irritating. I just asked my husband the question if that could be programmed, and he went and did it. And that hour goes so quick, and I don't take any notice. So going back to this, yeah, if you want to print this off and you want to have an idea of what to do, you have to print this one off, and it has all the instructions as to do a two-tone granny square. So I am looking forward to that, but there's no way I'm going to get that done by tomorrow. So my new thing is to take the pressure off myself. Forget about that. Forget about that. Move on to March, and it's crocuses. So I'm going to have a go at this one. I was just having a look to see if it had a blank granny square, because I have two on the tray, but no. Yeah, that's going to be really cute, isn't it? Really cute. So I'm going to start with that, and then I'll be up to date, and then I'll just, yeah, maybe I'll just have it in progress, maybe, or maybe do one on a Sunday. We'll see. We'll see. Watch this space. And then I've got a couple of other things to show you. I did start the, what's it called? What's my blanket called? The next one I'm going to show you. It's called the Cozy Memory Toes. Is it called the Cozy Memory Toes? I started it, and then I didn't like it. Didn't like my colour placement. So, and I find with my quilting, I do, yeah, it's not, if it's not quite right, that's it. So I undid it. I'd sewn all the ends in, so I undid it. It was a labour of love. But I've started again. And this is going to be a blanket of all my hand-dyed yarn. So this is my very first pair of socks that's out of Coopy Knits. I knitted for my youngest daughter. Yeah, I can't remember everything. But I'm very happy with that and how that's coming along. So again, I'll pick that up. I think I've got 3 more squares to add on, and then that's all the original, and then I can just go through this. I've still not found those crochet socks, yeah, the granny squares. So I don't know where that is. I had a good look this morning. So it's in some, I think it's in a bag somewhere. So yeah, I need to have a look. But that will go with my scrappy socks. So thank you for the love as well that you gave me for the socks. I was surprised like how many I knitted last year. Do you ever give yourself time to practice, time to play? No, I don't. I've made this. Wow, yeah, look. And I think, is this a sunburst? Again, this is leftover yarn. I thought, oh, I just want to try like a block. And I quite fancy having something like this. I just realised I'd forgotten something. Yeah, quite like to have something like this. So I have these colour yarns. These are Stylecraft. And this is Stylecraft as well, and it's parchment. That go really nice in my bedroom. I thought I could just, yeah, use those, keep going with the parchment, and then when it's all used up, I can just, you know, buy some more yarn. Yeah, you'll see. Oh, there's something that I wasn't going to show you, but I am going to show you because this might be projects that I will pick up again in the summer. This is a cherry heart pattern, and it is the painted anemones. And I started this last year, and I was just amazed that I was able to start crocheting this. And I've, you know, you start, don't you, and then you go off the boil and whatever. So, you know, I definitely want to pick this up. But she has used Schjeeps Stonewash on my way. This yarn is lovely. Look at all these beautiful colours. They're just like jewels. So I have those. Oh, is that going to go on? I'll leave that. Well, these just look like such spring colours. Look at that. Hopefully that's okay. Oh my word. Right. I can see where I finished. So literally just choose a colour out of the palette, and I think it's just diagonals. It's so beautiful. She was so funny, Sandra, when she was showing everybody, because you could tell how much she just loved it, loved the blanket, and it's very a feminine blanket, I think. So that's the colours. These are the lilacs and mauves. So I've made these. Oh my word. Look at these. Oh my word. Beautiful, aren't they? So I've made, oh, I should have tried to get a, what shall I do? What shall I try here? I don't know. Shall I try like this? Try and sit still, and then this, like, that's the centre, and then that's, you start off with this, I think. You're, yeah, changing colour. So it's 3 colours. You ready? Oh, right, okay, come on YouTube. We'll see. So it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So thank you for indulging me. Would you like to see what patterns I have on my radar? And I've really resisted. I've bought the pattern, but I'm really resisting starting this, but I absolutely love it. Oh. This is the new pattern by Annita, and it's called Quiet Sky crochet blanket. Look at that in all its loveliness. Oh my word, I really, really want to make that. And while I was there, so I bought that, and then there was another blanket that I liked. I think I will make it in exactly the same colours, and it's called a Tea with Granny blanket. It's just beautiful. And I have really, again, severely resisted this blanket. It's by Jenny Crow, and it's the Indigo Dreams and Crimson Dreams blanket. And I was looking at it last year at the quilt show in Birmingham, last August, and then in September. Yes. And it's the red one that's really taken my fancy. Oh my word, I'll just pull it out. I just absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. We tried to get it. I asked my husband for, it's not Black Sunday, is it? It's Black Friday? Yes, because I'd seen something pop up on Instagram, and it was reduced by 25%. And I didn't know what I would like for Christmas. So I said, oh, would it be all right if I have this? And he tried his hardest, but he just couldn't get it for me. And he was like, oh, well, I'll just pay full price. I said, no, don't bother. I said, because I said, I haven't finished my blankets. And I said, I'm only after it because I want it. I need to wait. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. And again, it's all this quilting that I can see. She also brought out the crochet star quilt as well, so I bought that pattern. Oh my word. Oh my word, it's lovely. It's lovely. So yeah, so that's that. And then finally, those two blankets here. The Jelly Roll blanket by Kay of the Bakery Bears. That's really lovely. And again, that's a good like scrap one. And obviously, you won't be able to see it in its glory because it's in black and white. I should have printed it on colour, but Jules from So Sweet Violet has made one, and Paula, and they're beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Sorry about that. And then Shannon from Blue Fern Yarns, she's done the Cozy Comfort blanket, and I actually saw it at the show. Where did I see it? Was it last September at Yarndale? I can't remember whether it was at Yarndale or whether it was at East Anglia, and it's beautiful, absolutely stunning. And I was touched the blanket, really liked it, and she released a set of minis each month, which I have. Yeah, it is stunning. So yes, lovely, lovely. What I did forget to bring, and I'm not going to bring it because it's already like 50 minutes, are some blanket plans for the boys. I started Alfie's, and I want to make what's called a university leaving home blanket. And at first I think I was just going to do squares. Like, it's nearly 12, so 12 years ago I was just going to do 12 and have you like a retro blanket. And I think now I need to undo those. When it's of everything that I've made him, and then I was thinking, oh my word, that's going to take me forever to make a blanket. If I stopped like making things for him, it's not so cool now to make him stuff. So I chose like a navy. So that's what I'm going to do, a mitre square for him. And then I was going to do the same for the children, which I have, started. And then I'm like, well, what else do I do when I've got bits left over? So I'm going to make, Ali does one, and she calls it a rugged blanket, and it's beautiful. So I thought, right, all that stuff, I'll just, that yarn, I'll just sew, crochet it in, and then they've got one of these, and it's not a precious blanket. So yeah, well, my lovelies, I'm hoping to get this up tomorrow, which will be Thursday, and it'll be the 29th of February. So we have a question. Oh, I forgot one more blanket, and I can't believe that I forgot it. Bear with me. The final blanket that I wanted to share, and I have got all the yarn, is the Scandi Meadow. And I think I have enough. I think I was going for the navy, but my friend was going to do the oatmeal. So I've got enough to do both. And they're really pretty. And this is MadebyAnnita. Yeah, I just love like the retro of the flowers. So I started two blankets last year and picked up my mystical lantern. So my second blanket that I picked up was by Jenny Crow, and it's Sunshine and Showers. And it's a blanket which I've always wanted to do, that you use different crochet stitches in. So look at that. I'd love to go and sit on that couch. Really, really beautiful. So again, oops, it's in two parts. So you make one part twice, and then I think you do another part, and then you sew them all together. And it's supposed to represent the seasons. So that's where I've got up to. I think I'm up to instalment 4. This is supposed to be the sun. I used the wrong colour. I've used spice, and I should have used something else. So I was a bit cross at the time, but do you know what? The sun's different, isn't it? Wherever you are in the world, different colours. So lots of different stitches. So this just needs something to be added onto it. So I'll just show you. So again, I would like to pick this up, but I think at the moment it's sewing ends in. And I was a bit apprehensive, about making this, but again, you just follow the pattern. Look at these. And I think it will hang, upside down like that. You just crochet it on, I think. So I started and stopped. So So I need to just find a weekend. Yeah, find a weekend that I can like start on a Friday, do so much, then start again on Saturday, and then finish it Sunday. So I've got to this point. They're so pretty, so pretty. So I think once I have completed the second row of this, then it's going to be fairly straightforward, she says. So that's my goal for March, is to sew the ends in this, and then make the second piece to go on the other blanket, and then I'm away. I think I start a new blanket. Yeah. So that's really lovely, really lovely. And again, this is Stylecraft special. Yeah. So your question today, on the question section, is: what are you a blanket lover? Are you a blanket lover? Do you prefer to knit a blanket or crochet a blanket? And do you what blanket are you working on, or what blankets have you worked on? And please let me know if there's any Janie Crow fans out there for that Mystical Lanterns. And there's one more blanket that I found, and yeah, I'm a little bit ashamed to say that I forgot about it, but I need to just get over it. And yeah, I need to have a look at this. My youngest daughter bought me my birthdays 2 weeks after Boxing Day, and she knew that I wanted this blanket, so she said, would you like a Christmas come birthday present? And she bought me this blanket. I'll show you. Blanket kit. Right. Blanket I found that I had forgotten I'd got was a Cherry Heart, Sandra Paul. Was called Forget Me Not Dots. And I've seen this on her bed, and it was beautiful. I was like, oh my word, I would like this. Again, it's Stylecraft. So yeah, so I think this is the beginning of 2020 that I started this. So I've made 1, 2, 3, 4, that's it. Again, this would be a really good summer project to pick up. And I could just put this down, couldn't I? She says. Right, my lovelies, I'm going to leave you there. I'm looking forward to hearing about all your blanket adventures. And yeah, I look forward to spending some time with you in March. So yeah, let me know if you've got any plans in March, what you're going to be doing. Take care of yourself. Make sure you nourish yourself and look after yourself. And I will see you soon. Bye.